Stephen Colbert might have just experienced the most unexpected takedown in late-night show history. Karoline, his guest for the evening, delivered a performance so sharp that it left the king of wit himself momentarily speechless. Who is this woman, and how did she manage to silence the sharpest tongue on television? Under the bright lights of the late-night stage, Stephen Colbert stepped out with his usual charismatic flair, but tonight he made the grave mistake of underestimating his guest. Our guest tonight is someone who's been making a bit of noise on social media. Let's see if she can make the same impact here, he quipped with a smirk. The audience chuckled, but the sharp glint in Karoline's eyes hinted at the storm Colbert hadn't yet realized was coming. Karoline had spent years fighting to prove herself in a male-dominated industry, and tonight, standing up to Colbert's mocking tone, was her moment to shine. As the conversation unfolded, Karoline stepped onto the stage with a confidence that caught Colbert off guard. He tried to poke fun at one of her recent social media posts, asking, "So when you tweeted this, did you actually think it through, or were you just mashing keys randomly?" Without missing a beat, Karoline fired back, "Stephen, I think you use the same method when writing your monologues." The audience erupted in a mix of shock and laughter. Some exchanged glances, unsure if they just witnessed a rare moment of Colbert being outplayed. Colbert, a veteran of the industry, felt a pang of surprise internally. He thought, this woman just put me on the spot. The turning point came when Colbert attempted to belittle one of Karoline's past projects. "So this project of yours, wasn't it a bit, how do I put this, amateurish?" Karoline paused for a moment, then locked eyes with him and said, "Stephen, I watched your first stand-up show back then. You were an amateur too, but at least my project wasn't as boring as your show." Colbert froze. The audience gasped, then burst into applause. Colbert's face was a mix of shock and admiration, as if he were thinking, how did she just do that? In the aftermath, the audience's energy was electric. Colbert tried to recover, forcing a smile, as he said, "Well, I guess you taught me a lesson tonight." But the impact of Karoline's wit lingered throughout the rest of the show. No matter how hard Colbert tried to steer the conversation back to safer waters, the audience couldn't forget the moment Karoline had outshone the host himself. For the closing segment, Colbert turned to the audience and said, "So who do you think won tonight, Karoline or me? Or maybe the real winners are the viewers who got to see that honest, bold conversations still matter. Let me know what you think." The hashtag Colbert versus Karoline quickly trended on social media. Some criticized Colbert for his condescending tone, while others praised Karoline for her courage and quick thinking. That night became an unforgettable moment in late-night television history.